In our news bulletin for this evening, one case of dengue fever has been confirmed and the Health Department has issued a cautionary advisory to the public. The Fisheries Division have raised a concern regarding the sea urchin population and have started to conduct an investigation to find out what is the cause of this problem. The FCW celebrated their 70th anniversary over the weekend. Niue is on a dengue fever cautionary alert with the confirmation of one positive dengue case over the weekend. Dengue fever is a mosquito-borne disease caused by the dengue virus, and the Niue Health Department has been quick to advise the public to destroy mosquito breeding places. Niue had a similar dengue scare in 2012 with an outbreak affecting more than 100 people and also experiencing one fatality due to a hemorrhagic strain of dengue. We contacted the government spokesperson to find out more about the situation and what measures have been put in place to deal with this situation.
And the first task for us was, and for the government through the health program, is that we need to contain the situation, that no one else, that the dengue will not spread. So that was the first task. Following that, the movement of the person concerned was confirmed, and the areas visited or residents, all those areas were sprayed, mosquito sprayed on Saturday. The immediate steps taken to contain the situation was put into place. The patient was isolated, and up to today, I believe that is still the case. So other matters reported on the case, I have now followed up with the Director and the Director General with regards to procedures. But other than that, very happy that procedures taken to contain, and also most importantly also for the staff involved to be very careful. Those were taken. The acting premier, the Minister for Health, was also duly confirmed, advised, and the Minister did join us in a meeting on Sunday morning just to render the support and emphasize the importance of containment of the situation.
Spraying programs have already been carried out at the UFO Hospital, the airport and surrounding areas, with a second round of spraying to be done in the next 7 days. The Public Health Division is also calling on the community to be vigilant and assist with the removal of any mosquito breeding places. Mr. Hipper says he is satisfied with the actions taken so far and the duty of care for the patient who has been in isolation, in line with their standard procedures.
Admission or visitation was strictly monitored by the department. So I was happy with that, and to inform the patient that we're taking all due care of him whilst in hospital. But one thing, he was very happy, he was very glad with the procedures and the action taken by the Department of Health with regards to his care and also for the precautions in containing the possible spread of the dengue. So now we have a list of people that we are monitoring to ensure that within the 7 days and the 14 days of the disease, they might get it. So we're monitoring those people, and they know who they are. Any signs of fever, they are to report to the hospital. But overall, to today, I think the next spraying will be 7 days following Saturday's spraying. Those for Tuapa, Alofa South, the hospital, the airport, all those areas have been sprayed. So to now, I've reported and updated Cabinet this morning on the dengue situation, and so far we hope that we have contained the spread of the dengue.
Health officials have stressed that this is not an outbreak because there is only one confirmed case, but this has been issued as a cautionary advisory. If people are experiencing any symptoms such as high fever, headaches or joint or muscle pains, fatigue, pain behind the eyes, nausea or a skin rash and vomiting, they are advised to seek medical assistance at the UFO Hospital. A number of villages have also responded with meetings and have made arrangements for working bees to clean up around the homes. The discovery of a number of dead sea urchins along the coastline from the wharf area to Utuko over the weekend has raised concerns for the Fisheries Department. A scoping exercise was done with the help of Niue Dive and the Magical Sea Adventures to identify what the cause may have been for the unexplained dead sea urchins. The initial search was done in Alofi, but they have also been scoping the southern side of the island for similar cases and an explanation, as it appears to be affecting only one particular type of sea urchin.
At this stage, we recognise that no one has been sick from either eating the urchins or reef fish. We haven't heard of any ciguatera fish poisoning cases recently, but that's the other thing that we notice. The water is reasonably warm, and the algal growth of the different species of algae we have here is they're flourishing at the moment. So it's obvious that the conditions are right. There's obviously high nutrient levels. The water is warm, and so when we've seen this in the past, it's sometimes led to there being some isolated areas that the fish become poisoned, the ones that normally carry ciguatera. So there's a number of different things that can do that. Obviously, disease is one possibility, but it's also linked sometimes to algal blooms. So that if they feed on the algae, it's toxic to them, so they die. The other one is sometimes it could be just that the water temperature is too high for them, their tolerance level doesn't meet it. So at this stage, it's more than likely that it's a combination of factors. We're not ruling out a disease at this stage, but I think it appears to be more environmentally caused.
According to the director of the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, about 80 to 90% of the sea urchins that were found along the Sir Roberts Wharf to Utuko area had exposed themselves from their holes during the day, which is not common, and had died with a number of empty shells lying around with spines fallen off onto the seabed. This
phenomenon has happened more and more often now in recent years. In Hawaii, in the last 2 years, they had a sudden die-off, and the Cook Islands has also experienced this in recent months this year. So something's happening that's out of the ordinary, but at the end of the day, we can only try and find out what's caused it, but there's nothing that we can actually do at this stage to stop it from happening, and just let nature run its course. So we'll just continue to monitor. I've just got feedback from Buccaneer Adventures, Niue Dive, this morning, and they've advised that they are seeing the same high level of organic matter in the water column, so the visibility is very poor, but no sign of dead urchins yet out at the Awasela area. So it may well be that it's confined to the Alofi area, in which case we can monitor to see if that spreads over time, or maybe that will be an indicator that it's what's happening in Alofi that's different from some of the other reef areas around the island.
As a precautionary measure, locals are being advised to avoid collecting and consuming these sea creatures until further notice. The Fisheries Division will continue with their investigations around the island for similar cases and continue in search whether there are any health risks, and these will be carried out over the next couple of weeks. There was a big celebration over the weekend, marking 70 years since the Federation of Christian Women was established within the Ecclesia Cristiano Niue Church here in Niue. In 1946, the group of women formed in Niue and were formerly known as the White Ribbon before changing the name to FCW. The theme that marked the historic day was Walk Forward with Christ. The first part of the program was a church service at the Alofi Ecclesia Church that filled up with the different groups from the villages around the island. During the festivities, each village provided a well-decorated cake to mark the FCW's 70th anniversary, and they also prepared food for a combined feast. Groups from the Niuean community and Ecclesia churches from New Zealand also made a special trip to be part of this historical and milestone celebration. The celebrations concluded with much singing and dancing that was held at the Millennium Hall. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin on Thursday.